666.
Richard, my one big thing, we'll pivot here. The Saudi Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources has opened the next stage of licensing for the Khnaiguiyah site, the largest exploration site in the kingdom. Yes, I've managed to work on my pronunciations a little bit.
Well done.
Extensive exploration work has already been carried out at the Khnaiguiyah site, covering 100,000 square meters drilled and 3D geological models made. The Saudi Geological Survey has confirmed the site's considerable geological potential of approximately 26 million tons of zinc and copper, both critical minerals for the global energy transition. This is really fascinating, Richard. So they're now basically allowing this site to be bid upon by private enterprises. And that's where, so this part of the whole privatization thing, just a really interesting story. And Amr has got incredible experience in this space.
Yeah, I've been in the mining business for 42 years with mining gypsum, first National Gypsum Company, which my father was a co-founder in 1958. And I was just a child playing in the factory, learning what gypsum is about. As kid, I would have. At that time, I think I would have loved for my father to have a chocolate factory. I offered myself as a sampler and get paid for sampling the chocolates. But mining in the country has really, the mining industry is a hidden treasure. It's the third biggest earner for Saudi Arabia. I recently attended a session with His Excellency Khalid al-Befer, who is the Vice Minister for Mining and a good friend. And he presented to us really the vision and the national mining plan for the country. And it's really amazing. And we will be using technology. Already we're using technology. People can apply for licenses to explore, to mine, and to get licenses for mining, all kinds of minerals. My focus is more in industrial minerals, but there are lots of other areas like gold, and silver, and copper, and lead, and ash, and ash soda, and all kinds of possibilities. And this is going to fuel industry as well. And that is why the mining sector is supervised by the Ministry of Industry. And it's going to, I think it will be a huge impetus to economic growth in the next few years. Mark my word. So, yes, I believe it is our hidden wealth, literally. It's underground. And there are many ways of mining it. And I think Saudi Arabia is going about it the right way by getting the right expertise, inviting the right kind of people to invest. And they have developed the way to, the mechanism by which you can get involved in this type of business. So I'm very optimistic, and it's a very promising industry.
I think you were on that panel with the vice chairman at the recent Future Minerals Summit in Riyadh, right?
I was supposed to be there. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I got sick, unfortunately. That's one of those things happened. So I missed attending it, but I followed it online, obviously.
Well, that was a big show with a lot of announcements in terms of the new mining laws. And
I sit on the gypsum manufacturers committee, which is part of the Federation of Saudi Chambers of Commerce and Industry, which is based in Riyadh, and we are in constant contact with the ministry, and the ministry is really communicating with the private sector to find out what are the various challenges and issues and problems, And really through these discussions and workshops that we keep on holding with them, we're finding really very good solutions to resolve it, whether it's in electric power or the time it takes to get a mining license or many different problems, and we are overcoming them through dialogue and brainstorming and workshops. So it's great, and it has to be. This is really leading to the two PPP, public-private partnership between the public sector and the private sector. And it's not just a matter of asking the private sector come and dish out money into projects. No, it's actually let's think of what projects are feasible, how will they work, how can we participate in it, what is your role, what is our role, and so forth. And this is it's coming and gelling together in a very nice way.
I agree with you. I am, that National Industrial Development Plan, which is responsible for developing a number of sectors: industry, automotive, military, mining, energy, logistics. But like that mining sector, as you say, is really has tremendous potential. It's already a great revenue producer. I think in 2020 at $26 billion in terms of revenue. But what I didn't realize is Saudi Arabia is the fourth largest net importer of minerals in the world. So there's a huge domestic market already. The Arabian Shield is extraordinarily rich. They've done these geological surveys. They've identified a lot of things. So not only I think will it be, they want to double revenue by 2030, but I think it'll be a real, a genuine opportunity for foreign direct investment, which is another priority. And this is something where a foreign investor can see immediately that there's going to be an opportunity for returns, there's a better investment regime. A lot of these global miners work in very hostile, difficult environments. It's good to come to Saudi Arabia where it's secure, they have good roads, you have a good investment strategy. I agree with you. It's just extremely promising.
I think there is another point, if I may jump in here and tell you that it's also linked to another type of industry, which is very important. The mining industry will grow in parallel with how you develop transport and logistic service industry. So already the government is planning to build railway lines to be able to transport a lot of the mined goods and raw materials and bring them to industrial clusters where they can be processed and manufactured into products that can be either exported or sold locally. So the logistics business is also another area where it is showing phenomenal growth, exponential growth, and of all forms, whether you are building warehouses, whether you're building roads, or railways, or developing trucking, all kinds of services. And this is again linked to the insurance business. So, a lot of that has to be, a lot of potential new business that is going to be available to insurance companies and so forth. And so everything kind of is linked to each other. And that is what the whole National Transformation Plan of Saudi Arabia, which comes from the Vision 2030, in order to come up with an action plan that can be implemented in order to make sure that that vision gets achieved by 2030. And it's all linked. It's linked to education, it's linked to training, it's linked to legal, all of the, we talked about the stock market. How are you going to protect the small investor? So there are rules and regulations and what have you in order to do that. In order to process the economic, you need legal contracts that can be honored and so forth. And today, I mean, if I have a court case, or even if I have to give a, I could be sitting in Timbuktu and I can go online and give somebody a power of attorney in Saudi. Okay, I can attend a court case and I don't even need to go to the court physically. I can be sitting here as if I'm talking to you on Zoom. I can be there in a Zoom call with the judge, with my opponent or the defendant, whatever, and we can sort it out and talk it out and try to resolve it amicably if possible. And if not, then we depend on what the judge rules. So technology is changing everything, not just in Saudi Arabia, but all over the world, specifically in Saudi Arabia, and we are pushing for it. And I think the business of technological developments and automation is another area of growth that would attract local, regional, and international investors, foreign direct investors.
Speaking of technology, we're hoping in a future episode to have someone from the Saudi Data and AI Authority to talk about everything they're doing in data, but also the Tawakkalna app, which has been transformative and really a tremendous tool in terms of battling the pandemic in Saudi Arabia. Something I wish we had here.
Definitely jealous of that.
Tawakkalna, I think, is now accepted in several countries.
Yeah.
To prove that I am fully vaccinated. And by the way, I've taken 4 vaccinations, 3 for COVID and 1 for the flu.
So you're like super protected.
I can't be more super vaccinated. But I just heard yesterday somebody was telling me that as a Saudi, having the Tawakkalna program, I can actually enter Bahrain. I don't need a passport or my ID or anything. I just use Tawakkalna for that, which is an incredible achievement. And I think if that experiment succeeds, it will be all over the GCC. So we'll be going, all over the GCC just using our application of Tawakkalna.
Amr, I'm also quadruple vaccinated with the 3 and then the flu shot. I still got Omicron this winter over Christmas.
super vaxxed.
But that's the whole point. It was honestly, had I not tested, we were all going to we were all going to go see my mother, and so all the grandkids, and so it was going to be a lot of people around my so we all tested. I tested positive. If I had not tested, I wouldn't have known. I mean, the symptoms were so mild, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, we all pray and hope that this thing will fizzle out as it has, as quickly as it has come in. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see it leave quickly. And if you look at history, I mean, these kind of endemics or epidemics, they come and go, and we can't do anything about it. Can't worry about it. We just need to worry how we react to it. And I think, at least our experience with Saudi Arabia, we've reacted very well to it. We immediately took very drastic actions at the very beginning, and that's why our numbers have been very low. Yes, we've had deaths, we've had people that got infected, but our numbers are a lot better than anywhere else around the world.
Something to be proud of. I mean, the Bloomberg COVID resilience ranking just recently, maybe a month ago, came out and had Saudi Arabia as ranked number 2. It's done a remarkable job. Less than 9,000 Saudis have died, which is an extraordinary number when you're talking about the size of that population. So you guys, Saudi Arabia should be quite pleased with how it's performed in this crisis.
And that's another thing that economists are citing as part of the headwinds behind the Saudi economy is how well positioned they are to, in the post-COVID world, which we're now kind of entering 2022. It's just how well Saudi Arabia has done with coronavirus all the way through. Lockdowns. Canceling or scaling back the Hajj twice was an expensive decision. And and a very tough decision to take, but, safety first. So very interesting.